There's this a very strong cultural differences between like Pakistan, Turkey, or England. I think like I was chatting with a psychiatrist friend of mine, and she's half Pakistani. I'm Turkish, and what she was saying is it's not that there's a cultural, it's the education difference. She was saying, and I went to Turkey and came back, and I was like, it's also cultural. It's not just education. And the way that men thinks and treat women is so uh, entitled and so like, who the fuck are you? And you gonna do what I say? Okay, I'll give you some examples because that didn't really do justice. I mean, I don't want to say it all or all everybody, but it's so uncomfortable being in Turkey, even though like I'm Turkish and I'm just chatting with someone, and I'm there chatting with someone and he's educated, he has business, he's da, da, da. Like, all right, yeah, what on what? I can have a coffee, that's fine. We're just sitting here. And suddenly the conversation goes around what people do outside sexually and how he's going through a divorce. He has different houses, and wouldn't that be like, wouldn't that be great that we're just chatting about now and getting to know each other? Isn't that the best thing to do before you do anything? And I was like, what? This is one. And the other one is um, I was in I was at Manchester airport. So nowadays there's like a jobs that doesn't really require to use your brain and to be highly educated now are given to in the north in the Pakistani uh, young adults, and their attitude is just like a tearing me in pieces. This is not about character, because I worked as a wedding photographer for Pakistani communities because I'm Turkish for a long time. So I've been in and out of the houses and communities. I love your food. I love the family, the bonds, the celebrations. I'll have a mandi and other 2 more days of celebrations of anything. It's it's not about that. It's about the way that especially man, also woman, talks with other women. It's like it's not a talk, it's an interrogation. It's entitlement, and the way that they sit, it's like the wide legs open, asking questions. Why, yeah, huh? Huh? Do you have it? Do you have it? Why don't you have it? I'm like, oh my God. It makes me feel like I'm before World War War, in an Ottoman Empire when that wasn't that bad, perhaps, but in a small village and somewhere, you know what, in small villages in Turkey, they have much respect to women because women do a lot of the work there. Um, this is very peculiar, and I can't put my finger on why is the Pakistani man behave women in this way. Because Turkish men are slightly different, but they still do. And my conclusion is there's something maybe the Islam is feeding, but I don't want to say it because my grandmother was so religious and is like I'm not against any religions, but there is a there is a very embedded culture that a woman should serve man, and man has the right to talk as if they interrogate women and behave as if they are above woman. And this just seeps through and out of all the pores of especially young men. apparently like really highly educated um, doctors, and they don't have this kind of attitude. Sorry, I haven't been in that group yet, but what I see is uh, arrogant, very arrogant. It doesn't matter what the certificate of education is. Um, Culturally, or the worldwide culturally uneducated, and only focus onto their house. It's like an in-home culture, and thinking the world is such. I just want to like ask your opinion about it. Just don't like kind of don't want haters, you know. Oh, and it doesn't matter. You can all come. Uh, this is my personal experience. It's been shocking me. I wanted to share it with you. Are they really entitled? Is it entitlement? Or even though like these communities go to school, this is where I'm talking about the second or the third generation, go to schools and they're integrated. Maybe they are not, because protecting, preserving your culture is beautiful, but this is not the like a sharing of the traditions. This is the mindset about genders and mindset about other human beings. Um, I think, yeah, it's been really strange. Yeah, yeah. I like going to Turkey. I do. That's where I am from. But every time I go there after staying for a few weeks or a week, I remember why I left it country. And the main reason is, um, if you're a woman, have to you have to become so almost like a disgusted looking. Just look around, look people as if you're disgusted them from them, and like talk as if in a humiliating way. Otherwise, otherwise they don't understand. Like there is what I mean is like almost you got to tell people that know your place. And that's just what I never want to do. Tell people to know your place, because I want to believe that we kind of like we're all human beings. We are investigating this life. We're curious about living. We learn, and not everyone has dealt the same privileges and cards. And I struggled a lot. My family struggled. We were fucking so poor and stuff, and but just did it well and all this. And it's like everyone can fall and you can get up, and everyone could work in any sort of jobs, and that's my how my approach to every life. But after dealing with a few of these type of people who are trying to put me in a place and treat me as if I'm worthless, I don't worth a penny, I just feel like saying to this, know your place. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's like so much that these people don't have a place. They create this fictional place that they are above women. At least they'll be above the half of the um, population, right? Because otherwise, being above someone, however you can call it above, you don't need to, in my opinion, but it comes to a point that you just feel, I feel like I have to tell them I'm actually above you just because you're behaving to me in this way. It makes me above you. Um, as I think this is a very peculiar cultural indicator of a weakness and self esteem issues, as well as um, not willing to listen, not willing to do the work as a male and female together, sharing roles. You can share the roles, but the roles are not fully defined, and those roles don't make anyone above someone. But we are now in an era that the money talks, and that's what money talks is not the right word, is it? Like money doesn't talk, the papers don't talk. People who hold the money talk, and it's not always the right talk, and it's not always the power. Power comes from realizing, analyzing, understanding, and finding and negotiating and giving and taking in a regulatory way that regulated by you, understood by you, and balanced by you. So